tell us a little bit about, what Truly Free is in terms of the product and the mission and all of that?
Yeah, so Truly Free Home is a non-toxic, eco-friendly household cleaning company.
Okay.
We were founded about 12 years ago. Our founder, Steven, origin story, right? He had his first infant son and gave him a bath, and he came out of the bath like blistered. Like he said, he said
Wow.
it looked like they dropped him in boiling water. It was like, devastating. Amy, his wife, is a NICU nurse. And,
Okay.
like, she was freaking out, and they couldn't figure it out. So specialists, all this stuff they're going to.
They didn't know what to do.
Didn't know what to do. So he had a family member that said, "What kind of detergent are you using?" And Steven's like, I've got a 911 here. Like you're in. So it ended up being that he was allergic to the laundry detergent.
Wow.
That they were using. So it kind of set him on this path of like, what does that mean? He
Right.
he didn't know anything about it. So then as he got into it more, he realized that all of the not good stuff, right, that goes into the fragrances, into the detergents themselves, and met a nice lady at the farmers market in Traverse City, Michigan,
Okay.
who was making soap, and just got talking to her. They ended up getting in the business, and started growing the brand. Started with laundry. Then they're like, well, what else is in the household? So got into the bathroom, got into the kitchen. So expanding the whole home to say, like, how can we make a home family safe?
Right. Incredible. So it started with the infant in Michigan, and then I guess where are you guys today as a company? Like, what from a revenue perspective, or can you talk about some of that?
Yeah. So we started literally in a bathtub, right? We have we just redid a old Tom's grocery store that was in atrophy for 7 years in Williamsburg, Michigan, which is just a little bit north of Traverse City.
Okay.
Way up in the upper Michigan area, lower peninsula, and moved into that in 2023. So we have a wall, and there's our Stephen calls it his museum of great mistakes. Like it's like the legacy wall, and we have the original mixer that we started mixing from Harbor Freight in there, and the big drum that we started like mixing our liquids in. So from that humble beginnings to $100 million company.
Wow. $100 million company. Where mostly can customers find, Truly Free?
So we're a D2C brand, right? TrulyFreeHome.com is our website.
Okay.
So our model is pretty unique because it's a subscription-based model. Mm-hmm. So we believe in like protecting the planet and preserving that as well as protecting the home. Okay. So you get an empty container and a refill pouch with your first order. And then on your subscription orders, you just get the refill pouch, right? So you add the water from the home, and then we're not shipping water across the states, and you can fill it from the home. So you reuse the same container.
Got it.
It's all website based.
Got it.
TrulyFreeHome.com.
TrulyFreeHome.com
is our CPG brand. Correct.
Got it. And then you and I met, almost a year and a half ago, yeah. Right? In this journey with you looking for a fulfillment partner. Can you talk to us a little bit about why, obviously you were manufacturing, you're self-fulfilling for a long time, highly successful business, but decided to outsource? Like, what was the process around making the decision it was probably time to outsource, and then why MasonHub?
So, we're always trying to, we're a scrappy company, right? So we do it, we have a saying, we do hard stuff hard.
Okay.
We don't normally say stuff, but
yeah.
So we do hard stuff hard, and we figure it out, and then we try to automate it and reproduce it. We're a little unique, I think, from most manufacturers or most CPG brands, because not only do we manufacture in-house, but we also fulfill in-house, right?
Okay.
So we're doing all of this in 48,000 square feet in Williamsburg, Michigan. Beautiful area, but a lot of labor constraints, right? So scalability.
Labor constraints.
Yep,
okay.
Yep. So scalability is my concern. I think, to get to where we want to go, we're growing at an incredible pace, and we've flexed and been able to flex. So like you said, a year and a half ago, we started talking, and I don't know, we probably had 15 one-hour meetings over a year and a half about where you at
least.
And I did an RFP with a lot of 3PLs, right? So
okay.
I probably talked to 6 or 7 3PLs, and it's got to make sense from a profitability perspective.
Yeah.
So you build in capacity just before you need it is kind of my philosophy. So it doesn't make sense when we're fulfilling in-house and producing in-house and can totally handle that capacity just to add cost to the business.
Right.
But at some point in your trajectory, you need to add additional capacity, and that's what it was, right? So through all of the relationships that I established with a lot of good 3PLs, what I appreciated about MasonHub was the personal touch, right? Like you, Abby, Donnie, like we spent lots of hours on calls just talking life, talking business, right? What does that mean? What does that look like? So a lot of that was that. The other thing that I think was helpful with you guys opposed to the others was you were really working to help me justify it to the board, to my executive team, to say why now? Like why does it make sense?
Right.
Not just why MasonHub, but why 3PLing makes sense. Right?
Exactly.
So you were really helpful in being part of the solution for us, and you know we were creative in how we got there.
Right.
Which was also a very important part of that for me.
Yeah.
So super flexible, willing to listen to what my needs were as a customer, and then you know we met in the middle to say how could we make this a win-win situation.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I remember those initial conversations, and at some point, you know, it got to a point where we're like, how can we help you, right? Like, I think that was the challenge is we understood what we needed to do, but we had to get really creative to make it work. It's 6 months now. You've been shipping with us. You're here talking about expansion. So can you talk a little bit about how things have been going so far in terms of these 6 months? Like, you know, maybe the good, bad, maybe less of the bad, but
no, I mean you need to know. So it was a rough start, I think, right?
Yeah.
But not from your guys' perspective, just because our infrastructure is not set up to accommodate the needs of the business, right? So, we don't have WMS system yet. We don't have like a really robust inventory process internally on our side. So what was really helpful from your guys' perspective is, we meet every Monday and we talk about where we're at, what are our inventory needs, what's the velocity going. Like this is where, you're like, Don, this is where I think we need to send a little more and based on what we're seeing, or no, we're good on that. So like that personal care has been very helpful for us. From an order accuracy perspective, like you guys have been great, right? Like we had some hiccups and we're like, what the heck, MasonHub? Like all these orders you sent out and you're missing orders. And then we realized it was our system sending the wrong, information.
Yeah.
So, but it's never a finger pointing thing. Like, let's just get to the root cause. Why did the issue happen? And let's work through it. But from a partner perspective, like it has been very seamless.
Yeah.
And, working with Mike and the team on like receiving, like, hey, what's the best way that you guys can receive it so that we can package it that way so you can receive it easier?
Right.
Like just working together to try to make the cost as low as possible to have it as seamless as possible, I think would be the way to say that.
A true partnership, I think, right? Would you say that it feels like we're an extension or a liaison to your business?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay. Amazing. Talk to us a little bit about the future of Truly Free, obviously, and then I know we've talked a lot about the marketplace, so I'd love to hear more about that, but the future of Truly Free, and then I guess how do you see MasonHub, playing a pivotal role in the partnership as you guys continue to scale? I know we've talked about things like 80% growth, and you guys have high expectations, so we want to make sure that we're that partner as we continue to scale. But talk to us a little bit about your future plans.
Yeah, so I mean, we're sitting in Pennsylvania, right? So we started with your West Coast Fontana facility. Mm-hmm. For us being in Northern Michigan, like we needed a presence. So our goal is to delight our customers, and we do that by getting in their homes as soon as possible.
Transit time.
Yeah, like that. It's been huge. So like that was the mainstay of why we wanted to do it. Now, as we expand and we grow, we see, well, there's an opportunity for us to get closer to the East Coast customers. So hence the Pennsylvania conversation of why we want to take this next step. So from a growth trajectory, like we are an aggressive company. Like we go hard, and we set really high goals. So like our goal is to double the business again this year. That's what we want to do.
Nice.
And I know that we can't do that on our own because we need capacity, we need resources, we need knowledge, right? Like you in our beginning conversations, like I'm pretty new to this game, right? So like the knowledge transfer between you and Abby and Donnie was very helpful for me as well, understanding the game a little bit. Right? What is a 3PL? How does it work? What are the needs? So that was really good in this process. So I would say, like we just need to continue to grow together. I think in all of our conversations, every time we meet, we're like, well, what about this? Well,
Possibilities.
there might be like we could do, and I'm like, yeah, we could. So it's more of a bantering of like opportunity than it is. No, we have one way of doing it, Don. If you can't conform to that way, then we don't like. That's not a
Right.
That's not how our relationship rolls. I don't think.
I love that. Yeah, because it's funny, you hear that buzzword of flexibility, but what does it actually mean?
Yeah.
And I think you nailed it. It's like, can we figure out things together where you're not hearing no at every step of the way, right? And as you said, the marketing team, they want to sell, right? And so figuring out a way to say yes that works for both companies is I think a challenge, but it's also something that we strive for.
100%.
So talk to us a little bit about the marketplace and you know, where do you see the growth there?
Yeah. So 12 years now into being a e-commerce business, we've learned a lot, and we've learned a lot of the pain along as it being a small business, small seller working your way up, and like all the things you got to navigate, right? It's hard. It's really hard, and the ecosystem as it's built today doesn't lend itself to be small business friendly, right? You're just constantly giving out margin. So what we saw were essentially three main points that were constricting the growth of the small business in the U.S. economy. One was margin, right? So in some other marketplaces, like you're giving out 50 to 65% of your margin to your customers, which is really hard, especially for a small business, because not only do you have to send an inventory, you have cash tied up there, but then the inventory that you're selling out of there is lower margin. So it's really hard to get momentum in that space.
Right.
Marketing is the other really hard part of that. You know, the affiliate world, like we all see it, right? Like people are living on their phones. They're in TikTok, they're in Instagram, they're in Facebook. Like that's where they live.
Right.
That's where they shop. That's where they're learning products. So you've got to be in front of that. And the best way to do that is through the partner, the affiliate market.
Got it.
So that's another piece of it. And the third is really just the social aspect of that, right? Like as a small business on a lot of the marketplaces today, you can't connect with a customer. You can't create a list. You can't remarket to them, right? So you have one sale to them, and then you're praying that their experience with that marketplace and their experience with that product is enough to get them to come back and buy again.
Right. You're counting on that investment.
Exactly.
That you'll get repeat business from it.
And maybe they'll come to your D2C website, homegrown, and buy from there.
Right.
Or maybe they just rebuy again from that marketplace. So what we created at trulyfree.com is a full ecosystem that will partner up with sellers and say, all right, this is what we can do for you. Like we will help you onboard your store, right? Nobody wants another channel. No, right? Like it's hard. Business is hard.
Right.
And everybody's always busy. So like let us partner with you to onboard your store, to get your products up and live. So we help you build the store on our marketplace.
To get you on the marketplace.
To get you on the marketplace, right? And then we have about 2,000 affiliates right now, we call them partners in our ecosystem, that are looking to promote the heck out of great products, right? So we have this infrastructure system where our team will work with you to say, this is what a good affiliate offer looks like, right? We've built a digital currency within our system. It's called a talent. You know, we're a faith-based company, so everything we do is rooted in that.
Okay.
So these talents are what you can use on platform to transact easier. So think of it like, I don't know if you're familiar with the Menards 11% rebate program, right? So you buy from Menards, you get 11% back. We don't get a check, you get credit to go back to Menards and buy more stuff at Menards. So our system is built similar to that way.
So those credits can go back towards the influencers or creators or any partners.
Right. So you want to, because you're saving so much margin, instead of 70%, you're 12%, right, is our fees on the platform. You've got a tremendous amount of margin on your product to help sell it better, right? So you can give those back in the forms of discounts or talents to the consumer, right, to offer them a better deal, or you can give that to the affiliate and say, hey, why promote me? Well, I have a really good product, and I'm also going to make you a lot of money to be able to promote. So there's a lot of things that you can do, but the real beauty in it is that the affiliates find you. So it's really hard to find trusted affiliate partners, right? You really got to go out and search them. Everybody wants oftentimes, sadly enough, it becomes a free sample grab, right? Like,
Right.
I'm an affiliate, I have 5 followers, but I need a sample so I can go on. So we have a lot of stuff in place that protects that.
Right.
And these are all affiliates that have promoted us on the home side, so they're trusted partners.
Yeah, no, that
so
makes
that
sense.
affiliate is really cool. The other thing that's really neat is our free chat. So we have a posting platform for chat in the system. So when you buy something from, if you're on the system, you bought something from Truly Free Home because we're a seller, you would automatically follow us. So then I could post back and contact you within that ecosystem, right? But the
Nice.
beauty of our process is, unlike other marketplaces, like, data is sovereign to us. Like, we don't use it for our own gains.
Right.
There's no, we're not selling it to anybody else. Customer or seller data is all housed and safe in the ecosystem.
Right.
So you have to worry about working your butt off for 10 years, building this amazing brand, getting it on platform, getting traction, and being pushed down
Right.
in, like, the algorithms because we're trying to promote somebody else, or us saying, well, look, that's amazing. We know your suppliers, we know your customers.
Right.
We're gonna create our own brand and undercut you. Like, that's not in our DNA.
And so, summing that up, not only do you have the data, which is king, so you're going to know who these customers are that are coming through the marketplace, you're going to have the visibility, but you're also going to have the ability to connect with them as well.
Exactly.
Right?
So you can remarket to the list that you're creating when they buy you, which is a very unique value proposition for a seller.
Yeah.
Right? You're not just hoping on a one-time buy. You're saying, wow, like, you've bought from me, now I know on platform, right? Again, we're not giving out email addresses
Right.
because we're protecting our consumer, but on platform, you can remarket to those folks that have bought from you in the past.
Amazing.
You can also connect all your social feeds in, right? So when you're posting, like nobody needs another channel to post on, but
Yeah.
you can just connect them in. So as you're posting, right, it'll just automatically feed in, because that's how you sell, right? That's
Yeah.
how you're selling nowadays.
Amazing. Well, Don, thank you so much. I think it was 255 days till we got the deal done, but it's been an amazing journey, and we're happy that you've given MasonHub the opportunity to be your partner for not only now but the future.
Appreciate the support.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.